Hello, my name is Miss Walker, and we are about to begin our school year at the Learning Angel DayCare. Before we can have the parents bring their children and leave their children at the center, we must have paperwork completed on each child. The paperwork is completed so that we can have the parents' full informed consent about all of the different screenings that we will be doing on their children. The paperwork is usually completed by appointments. The appointment usually lasts about 20 minutes on each child. I'm about to make my first call to my first parent. Hello, Mrs. Butterfly?
Yes.
This is Miss Walker from the Learning Daycare Center, and your child has been chosen to attend Head Start this fall. But before your child can come to the Head Start, we have paperwork that we must have complete.
Okay.
It will take about 20 minutes for us to complete all of the paperwork. The reason that I'm calling you, Mrs. Butterfly, we need you to come by the center so we can sit down, and I will go over each sheet with you and explain to you and let you know exactly what the sheets are consisting of. And also, Mrs. Butterfly, to let you know what we expect of you, because we will need your cooperation with some of the sheets. Hello, Mrs. Butterfly.
Yes.
This is Miss Walker, and I have a series of paperwork that I need you to complete on your child. Mrs. Butterfly, if you would just go through this paperwork and sign your name where it says parent signature, and then as soon as you get through with the paper, then you can hand me the paper. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Butterfly. Okay, now that was the improper way to get the informed consent. The only thing I did was gave Mrs. Butterfly all of the papers and asked her to sign the papers. And that was it. Okay, now the proper way to assure that Mrs. Butterfly sign her papers and give me her informed consent to do the different screenings that I need on her child. I'm going to take time to go through each paper, explain to Mrs. Butterfly what the paper means, and then get her to sign the paper. Mrs. Butterfly, the first sheet that I have here is called an authorization for use and disclosure of records. What this sheet is saying, Miss Butterfly, is that we have your confidential records on your child, and by you signing this sheet, you're telling us that, and we're assuring you that we will not release your child's records to anybody other than the people who will have a copy of this form. So if I can get you to sign this form, Mrs. Butterfly, we'll appreciate that. And you will get a copy of each and every one of these sheets. The second sheet is the medical home information. We need to find out if your child has a medical home. We need to find out who that medical home is established with. We also need to know if your child has been receiving his medical checkups on a regular basis. So if I can get you to sign this form for me, some of the questions on this form will be your child's name. Does your child have a medical card? Does he, Mrs.
Yes.
Butterfly? Okay. Does your child have another form of health insurance?
No.
No. Is your child in the WIC program?
Yes.
Okay. When your child gets sick, where did you take him for treatments? Do you take your child to the regular doctor, or do you take your child to the local health department?
Doctor.
To the doctor. Where's your child's doctor's name?
Nina Jones.
Okay, so now we know that your child does have a medical home. We also know who the physician is for your child. So if you would sign these papers, and then that will get your informed consent on the medical home information form. Okay, thank you, Miss Butterfly. The next form is the parent authorization for medical services. Okay, we're in the process of doing medical screenings They consist of hearing, vision, the physical itself, speech and language, just to name a few of our screenings. Okay, some of these screenings are done by you, Mrs. Butterfly. That means that you'll have to take your child for a physical. And some of these screenings are done here at the center. The ones that are done here at the center, by you signing this form, you are giving us permission to have these screenings done on your child. So if I get you to sign that form. Thank you. Okay, then we have the authorization for dental services. A dental screening, Mrs. Butterfly, is also part of our screenings that we do on our children. Some of our parents prefer to take their children themselves to the dentist. Not all children act good whenever a stranger or another adult take their child to a dental. So it's your choice. You can either take your child or you can have the center take your child. So which one would you prefer, Miss Butterfly?
Yeah.
That's normally the question that we put before our parents, and that normally is the answer that our parents give us, that they would prefer that we take the child. So if you just sign that form for us, and that will give us consent to take your child. Thank you, Mrs. Butterfly. Okay, we have this one last form, and this form says consent for child's emergency medical dental treatment. This is only saying if your child get hurt accidentally here at the center, that you are giving us permission to transport your child to the medical doctor and or to the dentist. So I need your signature on that form as well. Thank you so very much, Miss Butterfly. We have everything that we need consented. We've explained this to you of all the different screenings that we will do on your child. If we have any questions, can we call you about anything?
Yes.
Do we have a number that we can reach you at all times?
Yes.
Because that's another problem that we face with some of our Head Start parents. They give us a number at the beginning of the year, maybe a week or two later when we get ready to call them, we've learned that that number has been disconnected. So can I get you to call me and give me an update or change of number if your number happened to change?
Yes.
Thank you, Mrs. Butterfly. You have been a very cooperative parent, and I hope we're looking forward to working with your child in this school year. Thank you.